like to lead us in the pledge? No, you do not have to stand. You moved it.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. No problem. Okay. Now, the minute approval from the regular meeting of August 16th. Any comments, complaints, changes?
I saw them by email and they look good to me, so I would make a motion to approve.
I will second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Okay, we also have minutes from the public hearing of July 26th. I didn't see anything, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Okay, we have scheduled reports for today, starting with zoning. Frank Kitco.
Okay, so gentlemen should all have a copy of the activities for the month of August. Processed 9 applications. I believe we issued two new houses, but I believe we have 3 more there, but that is missing, so we couldn't process. And incidentally, it's kind of ironic. You see there's 8 new homes there for the year. I would say 7 of those 8 homes were in the northeast quadrant of the township, which is kind of, I think you got 3 or 4 now Moreland. You're gonna have 4 on Regal Place, which is kind of strange. But, other than that, things have been going pretty good. We're still continuing to work on some amendment issues of getting some things straightened out and everything with the commission. Other than that, that's all I have.
Frank, any questions, Frank? Okay, Emmerich Gordon Township Highway Superintendent and Lights.
Alrighty. Okay, Auburn Township, this is for August 2021. For the month, we did have the mower out for about half the month, taking care of what we didn't get cut. Then any of the complaints that came in, we did send them out and take care of the complaints. We've had no issues with the mower this year. I think PJ down by you'll see that it's evident that he's going down. He's getting all 3 of the profiles there, so we're going to keep on that.
He's taking his time, doing a good job.
Yeah, doing a good job. Yeah, we just unleashed them to go and doing a fantastic job. We have some other issues with some sinkholes that have shown up in the township again. I don't know if they're over the sewer lines or what, but I did call to have it loosed out, and the trunk of the sewer on East Washington, down by Ray's old bait shop that way. The sinkholes aren't over that, they're not over lateral, so I did get the county involved as well, and we're gonna see if these continue on or if they get any larger. We did shore them up with large aggregate, and this is just down by Ray's old bait shop there. There's 2 of them, one on each side of the road, and just out of nowhere, they just appeared. Once again, that road's been there, and how long has that infrastructure been there? For a long time, for these holes just to show up. Cumberland Trail, I had another one show up in the intersection there. We took care of 7 of them over the last, 2 years. We've been chasing those sinkholes. We stabilized the 7. I have 1 brand new one at the edge of the road at the cul-de-sac, and it is working its way under the road. So we did get some large aggregate in there, and we're choking it with the smaller stuff. We'll see how that performs as well. One that's really mystifying is White Oak. A very large sinkhole showed up in the ditch on White Oak Drive, and we went down there, and once again we shored it up with the number 1s. We're going to see how that performs, see if there's any more of it. It can't be sucked away, there's no sewers there, So once again, is it less than desirable construction materials that went into that project? We don't know, but just the resident called me up and said, just sinkhole disappeared. And
How big? How big is it?
maybe 6, 7 feet diameter, a good couple feet.
There's random old farm clay tiles out there too that.
Yeah, could be correct, that could be causing that, right. So this is something that over the last couple of years that these things have been just showing up, so we'll take care of it though. The 7 in Cumberland, we managed to stabilize, so we're there. For the ditching for the month, we did some projects on Taylor, Thorpe, Indian Hills, and Weathertop. Once again this year, as well as last year with people being home, they're noticing every subtle nuance in the ditch and any little problem that they see, they're giving us a call on that, which is okay. It's good for us to go out there and meet the people, talk to them, and we've been able to tackle them. Once again, as we approach the end of this construction season, I think we'll have been able to take care of about 95% of them. So I'll only have like maybe 10 left on the hook, which is pretty good that I have page after page on my tablet full of all these requests coming in. We did do 4 dry pipes, 2 on Lucky Bell and 2 in Indian Hills. And with that being said, I think this is the most we've done for dry pipes. I think we're approaching 20, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll have to go back and check my records. Most of them are the old CMPs that have failed over the years. They were installed years ago. We did have a big storm that came through in the middle of the month, and we did have trees down on Franks, Bailey, Stafford, and Bartholomew. We did have a Sunday call out as well for one over on Taylor May. The addition of the chipper makes it a lot nicer for us. We don't have to run to TRC and dump or pay a tipping fee over there, and it's worked out really well for us having the chipper. So that's a really nice addition to our arsenal down there. So it makes it a lot easier. Over on Bailey Road, you'll see I have some estimates coming in from Highland. They've done work for us this year. Frank, over by you, there's that maple tree. It's got 4 trunks.
No, it's only got 3 now, 1 came down.
Okay, and it's wrapped in ivy. And you'll see I have an estimate for that. That bastard tree just drops limb after limb after limb, and it's time we take it out. I think you agree, and it's right on the edge.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
It's there, it's right on the road. I have that one there, and then I have a cherry limb on Frank's Road that's suspended over the road. It's actually the top of the tree that's busted off and just hanging there suspended. You'll see that's on there as well. I think it's like $400 for him to come with his crane and take that top of that tree off. Now that we're on trees, I want to talk to you guys about, I have a requisition in for Weaver Tree Company. Actually, it's to pay the Manaway Township. We talked about this, Fred. Manaway hired Weaver Tree out of Garrettsville. It's an Amish crew. They're going down the roads and they're cutting anything from the edge of the road 18 to 20 feet up and clearing all the limbs over the road. We haven't done this honestly for years, that we used to go down there with the saws and do that. He takes his lift down there and just goes right down and cuts them. I think it's $22.50 on the estimate for Crackle from 44 to Center, and we're going to pay half of that, which is $11.25. So I need your blessing before I call Brian up from Manaway and tell him that we'll go ahead.
It's a heck of value.
Yeah, that's all at the east end pretty much, because the rest of that's.
Right, and then what I'd like to do is enlist this contractor's services as well for us here, because there are several roads I'd like to target that over the years, the limbs have been
Having
poached
a
on and hanging
canopy is
over.
like having no ditches.
Yeah.
We can't have these canopies.
Well, one of the things is as well, during these storms that we have, and in the winter with the ice and snow, you get the limbs hanging into the road as well. We want to eliminate that. So,
And plus, it prevents the road from, the sun from melting the ice off the road in the wintertime. And
well, then also the acid drip from the trees is detrimental to the surface as well. So.
right, it's not a good situation, so I think I would like to let him do that, and then let's see if we don't make a program. You know what I'm saying? Pick out some more.
Sure, yeah, this in our program. Okay, very good. Okay, and then during the month of August, if you guys notice, we have been going out with the truck and doing the limestone screenings on the chip roads. It's been pretty bad. In August, it was really bad. It's settled down now. One of the issues we have is the construction over on Stafford Road between 44 and Messenger. Those trucks are just churning that tar up, and we can't keep up with it. It doesn't matter what I throw on there, it's not meant for that type of truck traffic. So we'll keep on it, and once that road's changed over, that'll be out. That'll be off our inventory, so we won't have to worry about it. But as of right now, is primarily Thorpe South, Franks, and that section of Stafford that we're having the bleed-through issues with. So we've been taking care of that. And what it typically is, after lunch, one of my guys will grab the truck and go out and take care of the issue, and then come back on the job with whatever we're doing. Okay, and that's what I got. There you go.
Thank you, Emmerich. Any questions for Emmerich?
Well, I want to bring up a couple things here on our capital improvement projects. The paving of various roads is completed,
Yes, sir.
striped, and they did a nice job.
Yeah, there's a couple little areas of concern.
I didn't say perfect job. I
Right,
just
well,
said
we
a
talked
nice
with the
job.
engineers about it, and once again, that we're looking at a 3-year crack seal / 2-year maintenance agreement for the areas of concern, which is just like a couple ripples. It's not down the whole road, it's just actually a couple ripples in the road. So they're gonna work that into it as well, and I think we'll see that on final pay.
So we got first and second.
We got first and second, right, yeah.
That'll come through with the final.
That should come through on final pay.
So you're going to see, gentlemen, you have a recommendation to pay the first and second invoice from the county. So I'd make a motion to pay the first invoice at $135,347. It's called asphalt resurface various roads in Auburn Township.
Okay, I'll second that.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
And then I'll also make a motion to pay this invoice number 2, which is $101,112.10 to resurface various roads in Auburn Township.
Second.
John,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Okay, that brings us to the other end of our capital improvement project, which is the improvement of Stafford Road from 44 to Messenger. To date, the contractor, Eclipse, has yet to mobilize on the job. The job termination date is Thursday. And I think that it's going to be highly unlikely that they have any intention of doing anything on that project. I already took the liberty last week anticipating this, and I wrote a letter to the council explaining the situation, that we felt that it might be necessary to have them, the prosecutor, contact the bonding agent. They are bonded, as there's no evidence that they have any intention of completing the job on time. I think Emmerich's going to agree with me on that. He's had numerous conversations with them.
Yeah, there's no structures on site right now.
I mean, they haven't even put a cross culvert on the job site. So I think, gentlemen, we're going to have to do 2 things here at our next meeting or before. We're going to need to request an extension from the state on the issue of one money.
We've already started that conversation with the
Okay.
engineer's office. This is not abnormal. It's abnormal in Jogger County. Certainly abnormal for us, but Lake County is notorious for dragging projects 2-3 year windows.
Well,
So I think our footing's good here.
Okay. And I only bring it up because it's not humanly possible to,
Yeah.
and we're not interested, I say we, Auburn Township is not interested in paving that project in November.
No.
Asphalt is a temperature-sensitive material, and if it's too hot, it's no good. If it's too cold, it's no good. And we're paying too much money to have this put down under less than ideal conditions.
I saw the letter you wrote, it's timely, and I think it was well worded as to what are our options.
Right, that's what
Yeah.
I'd asked her,
Yeah.
right. And, but unfortunately, in my business life, I've been down this street 1 or 2 times.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, it's sort of like COVID, right? But anyway, I bring it up to the board so that we all know where we are. The other thing that I want to just let you know is that Mike Ludwig has been advertising the truck on Gov Deals. We haven't got a whole lot of interest. And one of the things is these trucks being, what last I heard was 18-month deliveries. And John, you hear anything different? Or is that
Same
what
thing.
you hear? 18
Yep.
months. Yeah. So I'm thinking we're going to get some, when the right guy finds out he's got to wait a year to get his truck,
Yeah.
and he could buy a truck not too shabby, we might still get a good price for that truck. It's not a problem for us to keep it right now.
Yeah, just you hold off for a month.
Yeah, maybe
Month and
2
a half.
if we have to, yeah.
I mean, it's gonna give a lot more people the opportunity to find out they're gonna be in a jam.
Well, I just wanted you guys to know, we've been working on this thing, and we did really well on the last dump truck. And, we're gonna have to wait 18 months for our new truck. And, so anyway, and then Fred did mention, I talked to Fred about it, that he's created a sinking fund to pay for these trucks. Real good idea, Fred.
And just to follow up, since we're talking about the roads right now, I did want to bring up, we had proposed putting a levy on the ballot in November, this November, for our one of our 1 mil road levies. And there was a procedural error, so it was delayed, and after conferring with at least 2 of the trustees, I did not try to go for a special hearing with the Board of Elections to put that on the ballot.
That was a year early.
Yeah, we were a year early, so we have 2 more opportunities next year in May and November to put that on the ballot. And of course, it's imperative that we pursue that, but I just thought we should address that.
Okay. And I talked to Fred, that seemed like most logical course, because like I said, fortunately, we did things way ahead. We have more than ample opportunities next year. Okay?
I also want to thank everybody who called about my father. Very much appreciated. He spent a lot of time in Auburn Township. We had our office here for 18 years, and it's very much appreciated by my family and me. So thank you very much. With that, I will adjourn.
Okay, Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yeah, one thing we discussed at the last meeting, and John, this goes back to the parking lot proposal. Had I wouldn't say it was lengthy, but we had some of a discussion about possibly relocating the parking lot. My thought is that's gonna create cross-traffic and defeat the purpose. There's one location that works best, and that's the one we're talking about. I think this entire board was a little perturbed about the cost involved, kind
Yeah,
of
we're-
a newly developed program by Western Reserve that they don't look at these as individual things. They're treating them more like a blanket thing, whether it's a 50-acre transition or a 3/4 acre transition people want to look at. So we kind of dropped the whole thing there at that point.
No, I think what their answer was is somewhat insulting to us.
Well, it's, yeah, they explained to me the logic behind it, because there actually is a 50-acre swap that a different entity wants to do. And they're taking that. Our small proposal is something they would have looked at, and there would have been some minor surveying and language discussions done. Minimal cost, and yes, okay, it makes sense. But once they got this proposal, just before we started with ours, they decided we can't be looking at these in the same
But
fashion.
PJ,
It's not our management, it's their management.
You and I both know, you and I sat down, and Gene knows, we circled out an area and said, we'll start right here. Right? And we never went above and beyond. Now, this is a pretty good safety issue we got going on here. And all we're trying to do is take a piece of kind of quote swamp land with nothing growing on it of any value and make an exit.
Yeah, which happens to border the road. So it makes sense there too. Gotta say, the only reason I resurrected this was because of these 600 and what, Fred, $675,000 we got coming?
Yeah, approximately.
He looked at this when this overview thing came in, and I looked at it, and I'm not a lawyer, Fred is, but it looks like this money is eligible for park improvements, and I think this would be part of the park improvement. So the reason I asked for this from the Conservancy
Right.
is to forward that up to, much like you're getting ahead of the thing on the road, get ahead of it here.
No,
and
that
ask
you gotta
for it.
go there
Yeah.
first. You're right, PJ.
So that's, I don't know how he came up with September 9th is, I told him, I said, we're meeting the day after Labor Day. So 9th and 7th, maybe he miswrote something, I guess it can happen. They're gonna get that proposal to us in solid form. I just wanna forward it up to the prosecutor's office and start getting some opinions.
Yeah,
Is this
absolutely.
eligible for, is it an eligible expense for this rescue plan
Well,
thing?
The things that are eligible are, it's not as wide a spectrum as was the first batch around. Things are a little more specific. And so, yeah, this is one thing that we've been wanting to do. The only thing holding us back was the money, and it's right in there saying, this is the kind of thing you can do with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is an extremely opportune time to take advantage of that.
Well, all it's gonna take, and I don't wanna sound like a nervous Nelly, but all it's gonna take is a good accident there. And
It's not just our opinion either. Jennifer, who's, does the
Right,
scheduling.
Jen can tell you.
She's the first one to tell you, we can't do anything more, there's no way we can do anything more possibly
Right,
until we have more parking.
right.
So we're maxed out. And this was logical 2 years ago, it's even more logical now. So,
Who's disputing it though? The conservatives? The
Yeah.
conservatives?
yeah,
I
they're,
just think these little, these fees they're trying to charge us, that you couldn't justify those in a New York minute, you know what I'm saying? And we've been members of this group since it
It's inception.
was conceived, exactly.
uh,
I'm just a little bit, I was
yeah.
just reading that and my blood was starting to boil a little bit and,
What's the guy, is he still in charge of that down there?
yeah, but when I first called them, and this goes back a couple of years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, 2 years, about 2 years
You know,
now.
it only took that kid like 6 months to come out here.
About 2 years now, I think.
Yeah, took the kid like 6 months to come out, and I wasn't real impressed. But regardless, this is not a huge, expensive project. You know, you're still talking about a paved approach with a gravel road that leads out, but put some parking on the sides of the gravel road. And but the big advantage is you're going to direct traffic in one way and out the other. And even McDonald's figured that out, that that's the way it has to be.
Yeah, but they had Ronald.
Yeah, he was here with me, helped me.
What they're doing is, they're looking at these changes to the original agreement as like a zoning board of appeals hearing. That's kind of how they're treating, rather than on an individual basis, they're kind of taking this broad, here's how we're gonna deal with everything from now on. Like when we do a ZBA meeting. You know, if you don't meet that 15-foot side yard setback, well, are you off by 6 inches or are you off by 14 and a half feet? They're treating them both as the same proposal.
And
Yeah.
and how do you know, that was, what, 20 years ago we did that?
It's getting there, yeah.
Good 20 years ago, we did just made a circle on a map. Don't worry about it. That's exactly what, don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. So now 20 years later, it's like, you know, trying to build the Chrysler building. Well,
But that's
let's
what we
see
have to
where we
do.
go.
We have to build a Chrysler building now, we do it. Now we've got the funds for it.
It looks like we do.
Frank?
And this is why I want to throw her in.
Can we fit the Chrysler building in up on that corner?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Well, as long as it's agriculture.
Yeah, it's agriculture.
We're making trucks.
We're gonna grow, anyway, okay.
Flowers.
I'm off my high horse.
Whoa, Nelly. What else
So
you got?
that's all I have. So when that comes in, I just want to send it up to the prosecutor and have her get started on that. 'Cause she's pretty thorough and we'd like to get her going.
Don't say stuff like that, will you?
That's a compliment.
I know, but it's
She's
making me
very
laugh.
thorough, I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, Fred.
Yes, I have a few items here. First of all, I have your regular reports in front of you. Revenue summary, fund summary report, and appropriation summary, as well as warrants 6503 through 6575, totaling $274,753.48. I also have a couple of resolutions here. We have this, no, that's under old business. But I do have a resolution from the Budget Commission, resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. And that includes 3 mills of inside millage, 10.3 of outside millage, totaling 13.3 mills. And I have I can give you a breakdown of the estimated yield on our levies. We've got the 2010 fire levy, 3.5 mil. That's expected to yield $911,964. We've got the 2005 road and bridge fund levy, expected to yield $244,887. The 2006 road and bridge fund levy, expected to yield $260,561. We have the 2014 Road and Bridge levy, 2-point levy estimated to yield $521,122. And then the 2020 Fire and Emergency Fund levy, 1.8 mils, expected to yield $483,014. That along with our inside millage, we are looking at, if we go with a 98% collection rate, $3,574,365 total. And that is the essence of this resolution.
Motion to accept the resolution as given.
Second.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I've got resolutions for the vacate of the road. Do you want to do that now? or-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been, I guess that was discovered, John, you're aware of this, I'm sure, when they were doing the background on this road, we found out that when Valley was constructed to make the 90-degree turn there, because everything's gonna get flooded, that was never vacated underneath the water, which we're never gonna obviously do anything with it, but I guess arguably, right up to the water's edge is still ours, and I'm glad we never got,
I'm glad we don't have that.
we never
Let's
had
give it to
that.
them.
Let's
Give
get
it
out of
back
that,
to them.
yeah. I don't know how that was missed 60 years ago, but it was, and happens, and we're gonna fix it. So that,
Not my fault, I wasn't even in kindergarten at the time.
that was, I guess that was actually, Chrissy had, the assistant prosecutor had approved that, was to form, like, right before our last meeting, so she was on that in a timely fashion, but we didn't get it on the agenda. So it's here now, Fred.
Okay. These are,
Emmerich, do we have scuba equipment?
Pardon me, sir?
Do we have scuba equipment?
No, actually, at the one meeting, I did request some.
You can still see the
You can
paint,
help out that,
the
Chief,
curbs, when that was so low a couple of years ago, you can see the curb. Down there, there's a driveway that showed up, brick
Yeah.
driveway.
You think you got a suit big enough to fill it?
he's got a requisition in. So here's our resolution. Resolution petitioning the Geauga County Board of County Commissioners to vacate the public right-of-way upon a portion of Washington Street, TR-0047, pursuant to section 5553.045 of the revised code. Whereas Auburn Township Board of Trustees desires to vacate the public right-of-way upon Washington Street in Auburn Township as being in the best interest of the township, and whereas the Auburn Township Board of Trustees desires to vacate said Washington Street, beginning at the point where the center line of said Washington Street intersects the southerly right-of-way of Valley Road, TR-0199, easterly approximately 1,121.29 feet to the existing terminus. I'm not gonna read this entire legal
Okay.
description, okay?
Why not?
We got the intersection.
Made me fascinated.
Whereas section 5553.045 of the revised code authorizes the Board of Township Trustees to petition the Board of County Commissioners to proceed with a vacation of this nature. And now therefore be it resolved by the Auburn Township Board of Trustees that pursuant to RC 5553.045, the Geauga County Board of County Commissioners is hereby requested to proceed with the vacation of said Washington Street from the intersection of the center line of said Washington Street where it crosses the southerly right-of-way of said Valley Road to approximately 1,121.29 feet to the current easterly terminus of said Washington Street.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adopt that resolution.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
that's all that I have.
Okay.
Excuse me, Fred,
Yes,
with that resolution was that map provided by,
yes.
oh, okay.
There's a map here. Does it show where it goes under the water?
I don't think so. That's the one from the county, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, the engineer did most all the work on this.
Yeah, well, they sent me the map, I had it forwarded to Nancy, I'm sure you guys got it.
Okay. We'll jump into the remaining new business. Franchise fees from Charter Communications for $5,280.80. Anybody got any places they might want to put that?
I'm gonna make a motion to go land acquisition and improvements.
I'll second that.
John,
Yes.
BJ,
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Okay, yeah, if you were Cameron Toth, who died in a car accident a few months back, his parents purchased a memorial bench at the park. And again, that's, just want to let everybody know that's available to, anybody who wants to purchase a bench and put a memorial plaque on it. That's available to anybody who wants to memorialize someone. Nancy has all the information if there's anyone who wants to consider that. This particular one will be done by the bench, one of the benches around the flagpole at the park. So, I kind of know his mom and dad. His Cameron's brother Cole is friends with my grandson. So they were pretty close and got to play together. So over the years of them thing, they pick them up at our house. I got to know the parents, and it's always sad to lose a child. It's old people you don't worry about too much, but losing a child's not right. Anyway, just wanted to mention that. So like I said, if anybody does have any, knows anybody who'd like to put a memorial, we do have that service available. Next is the NOPEC Green Energy Community Choice Program. Just want to go over that briefly. You guys got the paperwork, you can take a look at it. The nickel tour of this is we already are members of NOPEC. What they're coming up with now is a green energy program, which they're trying to get the townships to sign up with, which would then sign up everybody in the township for that. And I'm kind of, we sign up with NOPEC every year because it's saving people money. Now, if somebody doesn't want to save money, they have the opportunity to go back to NOPEC and say, no, I don't want to be part of this, I want to pay more money. This is the Green Initiative, which is actually would increase people's electric bills, gas bills. And I don't think, again, this is my opinion, you guys have a chance to look at this, I don't think it's our place to be raising people's bills. Again, if we don't do this, we stay with the regular NOPEC program, and people do have the opportunity, if they feel strongly about wanting to do this, then they can opt into it
They can
individually.
opt in, right,
Okay,
exactly.
so, like I said, it's, I agree with the concept and everything else, but like I said, I don't think it's, as township trustees, one thing coming in and say, hey, we did this for you, we're
Spend some of
reducing
your
your thing,
money.
but here, I just spent $10 a month or $20 a month for everybody based on our thing,
That's
so.
the one question I had, is so when electricity is going down the wire there, does it have a green energy lane and a regular energy lane?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
maybe the green one will be the one that works.
And the other thing I'm wondering is, of course, you know, they throw money at townships and governments left and right. Is this starting with the carrot and the stick thing? You don't sign up for this, we're gonna start withholding that? I wonder.
Well,
I didn't get that impression, but it's a possibility.
after we look at it and we make our vote, I'm sure we'll find out.
We'll find out. You know, we've done lights and furnaces, and I think the parking lot lights and all that stuff is with no back money. So, those would be carrots, and maybe they're breaking out the stick, you know, don't know. The other thing, and I saw this too, I just wanna get back to this, I probably should have said it in my report, but, we're looking at a partial compensation for the scrap tire program now,
Yeah,
which they kinda implied that was coming a couple of years
right,
ago.
exactly. Well,
Um,
because we had such success.
Yeah, yeah. Just gonna say, if that's, and that's actually a very, that's not even a third of it. Maybe next, for cleanup day, we gotta start looking at some fees on tires if it's gonna continue.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've
Yeah, I
only
think
done
you're
that
right.
because we're getting, you know, we've always planned on,
We've got 100% compensated.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, they wrote, of course, last year was an anomaly. 2 years ago, they said that, I can't remember the wording, but they kinda implied that we're looking at this a little closer and partial payments are a possibility. And this is, like I said, what is that, about a third of the total? I think we're around 7 or 8, so it's a quarter-ish.
yeah. I'll start
And
charging.
then we gotta start charging $2 a tire, or a buck a tire or something.
Yeah, well,
So that's what they charge at the tire store, so I mean,
It should be more than
that's
that.
not
They charge you
unreasonable.
more than that.
What do they charge now?
I think it's 6.
Yeah, I was gonna
6?
say it's more than 2, that's for sure.
well, so we'll find out whatever the tire stores charge and we'll charge a little bit less.
How much are we paying per tire, Em, do you remember?
No, I don't, it's per ton, it's.
It's per ton.
Entire, yeah, right. I don't have it in front of me, Jim.
And then we get our, you know, reverse Santa Claus guy that brings us 40, 50 tires usually the night before.
Yeah.
Who would that be? Somebody already talked about?
Okay, on that note, public comment. On that note, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
John,
Yes.
EJ,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
So off the record, since Eclipse is not taking care of Stafford because they're backlogged on this 422 here, or what?
Well, if they were working on this, I'd say that's probably what's backlogging them, but they don't appear to be working on this either, so.
They're also doing Auburn Road.
They're doing Auburn and 322, and that hasn't moved very much either. Utilities done, or is there one more second piece of wire moved there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 remnant poles are left, I think, or 7, but the wire's still on.
The wire's still on.
Yeah, all T's bumped, Windstream bumped. They're down right now by Orange Lane, by, Hunter's Creek down there. But don't forget all the, Dominion, or Valero was ever down there, Zane was in the way, so they couldn't take care of those poles. They were
They
as
done?
far as they could get. Pardon me?
Are they done now? Gas? They're not done yet.
No, no. They got all those pits opened up, they're pulling that 4-inch main through, so.
And then they gotta do all the lateral taps.
All the laterals are
I
starting
guess
to open
that's
those
true, I
up.
think I saw it late last week, and they wouldn't have done anything since, so.
Who knows, maybe the master plan was to subcontract all the bidders that they outbid or underbid in the first place, and then they said no.
Yeah.
Is it the goods can't fire on this one?